Brixton is one of London's most lively and multi-ethnic areas. A lot of the people who live here have Afro-Caribbean roots. There's a great sense of community with markets, hair salons and places to eat. But why are we perhaps less united when it comes to blood donation?
Only 1% of registered blood donors in the UK are of Afro-Caribbean ethnicity. I want to find out why the statistics are so low and how we can change it.
When we need blood to save a life, it's the most valuable thing anybody could need. Blood banks are therefore vital in keeping a constant supply of blood, not only in cases of emergency, but for treatment of lifelong conditions. Usually, when a patient needs a single blood transfusion, they can be given blood based on the ABO and rhesus systems. But when a patient needs multiple blood transfusions, they need to be given more extensively matched blood. Subtypes are then taken into consideration, one of which is called Rho. It's over 10 times more likely to be found in people from a black background than people from a white background, and is frequently found in patients with sickle cell disease. So, if a patient with sickle cell has the Rho subtype, ideally blood of the Rho subtype should be given to that patient. The NHS are now calling for 40,000 more black blood donors in order to meet the growing demand for better matched blood. I met up in London with Ashley Roberts from Birmingham, who has recently donated blood for the first time. After donating, she discovered that she has the rare Rho subtype.
Everything's so expensive in this city, I don't know what to spend. It's true, you know. So, you have the special blood subtype, Rho?
Yes.
Does that make you feel kind of more inclined to donate blood?
I feel like a superhero. Especially when I found out it helps people with sickle cell. I was just like, oh my god, I actually have an antidote within me, and there's so many other people in my community that probably do have it, but because we're so afraid to give blood, we're never going to know, and it's only 2% of the population have it, I think, and you could save a life. It's crazy. And I grew up with so many people that had sickle cell, and it was almost like a death sentence. And to know that you actually have the means to save someone, it's an incredible feeling. So yeah, it's amazing.
And how did your family feel once they found out that you had donated blood? Were they supporting you? Did they think this was a really great idea, or were they a bit kind of sceptical about your decision?
My mum calls them the vampires. They send letters every month just to remind you that you've got a couple more months left until your next donation. It's just like the vampires have emailed you again. She's very sceptical about it, and I don't think she will ever give blood. A lot of them are quite appreciative of the fact I'm doing it. Like, that's great, but I don't think they would do it, and I don't know what would encourage them to give blood.
This skepticism that some people have about blood donation seems to be prevalent amongst the older generation, but maybe the youth of today are perhaps more willing to donate. I went to an event hosted by the African Caribbean Society at the University of Kent, where ACLT, the African Caribbean Leukemia Trust, spoke to students about the importance of stepping up and becoming a blood donor. Students had the opportunity to sign up after the presentation, and I was amazed at how many did just that.
Contract.
Filling section A, B, and then on the reverse C and D, sign and date and then This is for stem cell.
Okay, yep.
And then you want to sign up for blood as well, it's this one. All right, so just fill in that one first, and then I'll deal with that one after. All right.
I asked some of the students why they had decided to sign up.
I was just so moved by the presentation, and I think before I was a bit ignorant, I didn't really know much about it. So anytime I see adverts about it, I think, oh no, I can't do that.
Lots of black people don't know why they should give blood. So after hearing all these speeches, I thought, okay, to myself, let me do the right thing and donate my blood. It could help other people.
I spoke to Orin Lewis, the co-founder of the charity, about what he thinks about the issue.
So why do you think that there is a lack of black blood donors currently?
It's a difficult thing. It's a combination of things. Whether it be blood, organ or stem cell donors, black people don't seem to realise the need is there. They always presume there's always going to be blood, someone's going to donate it, and race doesn't have a factor in it. Well, actually it does. And once they know, wow, get out of the way, here they come, en masse.
Yeah, that's definitely true, because with me,
when I found out about the fact that, you know, ethnicity is so important with blood donation, straight away I was like, yes, okay, let's sign up and become a blood donor. But it's only recently really that I found out about that. So do you feel like now though that there is becoming to be greater awareness about this whole issue?
I think there is, and I think the secret is in our youth. Our youth, once they are aware of it, once they've got a grounded in good education, they can make instant decisions based on fact rather than myths and fears and taboos. And so they say, dispel all those things that were passed down to me through my family and friends, my culture. Actually, the facts are here. I want to go and register. I want to go and help my people.
That's so true. Like just now, seeing so many people sign up to become donors. It's amazing. Like
I just done a number crunch, and it's a big number of people.
Wow.
The majority of people in that room who listened and watched have signed up to do blood. I mean, there's a lot of blood donors there. Some people signed up for organ donation, and a lot of people signed up to be stem cell donors as well. So more power to them. They're the ambassadors. They're the future, because they're going to tell others who are going to be like, how comes I didn't know? How did I miss this? Are they coming back? And you know, they're the ambassadors. And they'll tell people, go to the website, order the kit, and start that momentum.
As I'm a young black woman in the UK who hasn't donated blood before, I've decided to become a blood donor. I went to a mobile blood centre at a local church in Gillingham. First, I filled in some personal details. Then, I had to drink 500 millilitres of water to help with my well-being during and after my donation. Once I read the leaflet, I was called in for a private health screening where I answered confidential and health-related questions. Then, the nurse took a sample of my blood to check that I had enough iron. I'm just waiting right now to donate blood. One thing that I have noticed is that there aren't many young people here. I don't really think there's anybody here under the age of 30, apart from myself. And I've also noticed that there are no individuals who are of Afro-Caribbean descent. So it has really reinforced the issue to me that there is a lack of young black donors.
Right, I need your...
Once in the chair, I read through a final leaflet before the nurse prepared my arm. But after a few minutes of searching for a good vein to use, I began to get concerned.
Okay. Just have a quick look at the other one.
Okay.
You haven't got any veins in there that's big enough.
Oh no.
Just squeeze and hold. This one is too thin here.
So I just got both of my arms checked, and it seems like this arm has no veins at all to use. So she's been trying to find a vein on this arm that is big enough to put the needle in. Because it seems like the needles are quite big, but it seems like my veins are actually quite small. So we're just gonna wait and see what happens. Yeah.
Move your arm away from the armrest and let it drop slightly. Keeping very tight. I'm sorry if it's uncomfortable.
That's okay. It seemed that despite my good intentions, I wouldn't be able to donate blood. I don't know why my veins are so
really small. There's one coming up here and another one here.
Yeah.
It's very bulky here, but I'm afraid there's a valve here whereby it will be very difficult to keep it flowing.
Yeah.
I'm afraid you can't.
Yeah.
Because the vein is really small.
Yeah.
But don't give up on us.
Okay.
In future, maybe, give it a few years, you can always try.
Yeah. I was really upset that I couldn't donate this time round, but I hope to try again in the future. Sickle cell disease is the fastest growing genetic blood disorder in the UK and is most common amongst Afro-Caribbean people. 15,000 people have the condition and 90% of them are of black origin. People with the disorder have abnormal sickle-shaped red blood cells. This makes it difficult for the cells to transport enough oxygen around the body and blood vessels can get blocked. People with sickle cell disease depend on ongoing blood transfusions for the rest of their lives. It's therefore very important that the blood they receive is more extensively matched. This emphasises the need for more black blood donors. I spoke to a girl called Sadia who has had sickle cell disease all her life. Having been let go from her previous job because of her inability to work every day due to her condition, she hopes people will become more educated about how severe it can be.
So when you started working, did you sense that there was some kind of misunderstanding between you and your manager about how kind of serious your condition can be?
When I did tell my manager, she was very kind of understanding about it, and I did make it clear that it would be inevitable for me to, have to take time off more than the average person. But still, they were very but because of your condition, we can make, make exceptions and all of this. So I was like, okay, cool, that's great. They're on board, they get it, they understand. But I noticed the more time that I did take off, the more it became well, can you just come in? You don't have to, do any work, just sit here. And it became apparent that it was more, for them it was more just to have people, in the office working. I was actually admitted into hospital, and I remember calling my manager, and she, it's so ridiculous, but she was like, can you, maybe this afternoon, if they let you out, can you come in? And it's, again, this whole, not understanding, the severity of the situation.
Sadia takes penicillin to ensure her body isn't open to infections, folic acid so that she doesn't become highly anemic, and a new drug called hydroxycarbamide. But generally, she must stay warm, hydrated, and active.
The more information about sickle cell being shared, then the more people can say, well, obviously sickle cell is prevalent in the Black community, and if I can help in any way, then and if blood donation is a way that I can help, then that's what I'm going to do.
After speaking with Sadia, it really struck me how her company didn't seem to understand her condition. If people knew that sickle cell disease was common amongst Black people, perhaps it would, as Sadia said, encourage them to donate. For most people, the idea of giving blood is perhaps daunting. But I met up with a remarkable woman who has donated blood almost 50 times. For Karen Bonner, the Divisional Director of Nursing at Chelsea and Westminster Hospital, donating blood is a normal and easy thing to do.
What is it then that has motivated you to become such a vigilant and regular blood donor?
Yeah, that's a really interesting question, because for me, I've always something that I've had in my mind, and it's a really difficult for me to kind of pinpoint when that happened. It's a bit like people ask me, well, when did you decide to become a nurse? I decided from a really young age, and I think that maybe say a lot about me as an individual. I also think that might contribute to why then I always felt about how I can help others in different ways. And then from the age of 18, I started giving blood. And I don't think I really realised actually how important that was as a person from a diverse background to do that. It was just something I wanted to do.
Yeah.
And I think as I've got older and understanding, and I work in healthcare, I understand the grave importance, but it's just something that's always motivated me. And the only reasons over the years I haven't given is if I've travelled and you can't give, there's all the the rules and regulation, or my iron level's been a bit low, and I lived abroad for a year. So, but I've pretty much given, and I'm nearly getting up to sort of my 50th donation. I would have loved to have given more had I not for those reasons. As I've got motivated, as I've got older, and I recognise that it's important, I've always encouraged others. So I have a few friends now who donate. I have other friends who, I speak very openly about it, and so therefore that I've encouraged others to do the same.
Meeting people in my community who have either always been passionate or are now passionate about donating blood just shows that we can change our attitudes towards blood donation.
I think a lack of education and awareness about how important race is with blood donation is the main reason why my community don't donate blood. We need to step up and realise that donating blood can actually empower us and provide something so special and so dear to someone in need.